Good morning, guys. Welcome back to my channel. We are starting out a new segment about entrepreneurship. So my plan is to every 2 weeks be able to interview some guys who are trying to build businesses and see how that is coming along, their challenges. The very definition of entrepreneurship is a person taking risk, knowing at the end of the day there'll be reward, like a profit. So these sessions I'm taking, we are looking through journey. Travel is a different kind of travel, traveling through people's journey in entrepreneurship, which is more or less like most journeys you will take, or most travel you'll take, with ups and downs, challenges and persistence, and we can learn certain things from this kind of journey. I hope you'll find these new bi-weekly sessions beneficial. We're probably in a recession and many people lose jobs, and so many might then view, oh, I need to go into entrepreneurship. It's not that it's going to be easy, it's going to be challenging, and it's good to hear from people who've gone through this, those who probably even started jobs and gone through recessions, and how they dealt with that. So in today's video, I'm going to meet my friend called Bryant. We used to be with Bryant in high school. He was 1 year behind me. We were both in the Christian Union. I just happened to bump into him the other day, and I told him, I'm doing this entrepreneurship series. He has 2 businesses he's running. He has some stalls in Katani Road. Also has a pharmacy. And so this will be an interesting discussion to find out his journey in entrepreneurship. He's a traveling evangelist. He normally travels to Europe, the US, speaking engagements. He told me that he's actually flying on Friday and is going to be away until around November, possibly. So I was like, hey, before you leave, why don't we quickly have this session? I believe it will be beneficial to me and to you who are looking to get into entrepreneurship, to understand the challenges involved, the journey, what to expect, lessons learned, and hopefully all this will help us as we get into this. Yes, sir.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Good to see you.
Same here. Same
Nice.
here.
Yeah.
So this is the place.
This is Goshen Park.
Okay.
So we've just we are yet to do final branding and everything.
Okay.
We had some delays, but at least it's operational.
So all these are yours?
All this, yes. My partner and I. This is
Oh,
what
okay.
we're doing.
Okay.
There are
Okay.
30 shops.
Okay.
So yeah, we just started operation. I think about 4 or 5 days ago.
Okay.
Once we got connected to power, but we had finished
Okay.
everything.
Okay.
So nothing much could happen because we were waiting for the KPLC to connect us. But
Is there power now?
there's power now.
Okay.
Yes, that's why
Okay.
guys are open. At least
Okay.
they're able to operate. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is.
So we want to talk to Bryant Lubanga and get to know his entrepreneurship journey, how that has been for him, and what challenges, what advice he can give new entrepreneurs as they start this journey. And so guys, you will have to excuse the background noise. There are ways we can improve that in future interviews.
Yeah.
But we are actually in one of the stalls that we'll discuss about, one of his stalls. And so yes, it's actually Mabati, so it will have a bit of, it's not the best place to do this, but it works.
Still a construction site, as you can see.
Yes, actually, if we show you the actual background is really construction site. Maybe let's start with your family background, a bit of that.
I come from a family of 7.
Wow.
7 children. I'm the last one.
Oh, okay.
And pretty much simple upbringing.
Okay.
I grew up in Langata, just in an estate full of people.
Okay.
So pretty much simple and easy. And yeah.
Were there any entrepreneurs in your family?
No, actually, no. My mom was a civil servant, my dad as well. I have one of my sisters who's also a civil servant. Everybody else is just working regular jobs. So it's nothing that I picked from my family or from someone close necessarily. This is just something that I picked along the way.
Wow, good.
Yeah.
Awesome. In terms of educational background,
Yeah.
did that influence your journey as well? So it would be good to know, where you schooled in.
I went to a regular primary school again, right next to the estate, Uru Gardens Primary School. Then got to high school where we met, Highway Secondary. Of course, we did those business studies and everything. Of course, when you look back, you think, okay, what was that all about? It didn't really add much value as such. But just over time, you're thinking, I need to achieve one or two things. I need to solve certain problems. I need to make money. We all go through that. And so you begin to think and craft and start learning. We're in the digital age. So we've learned to watch some YouTube videos, learn to read this and that. You have different mentors and you're trying to learn, okay, how can I become like so-and-so, so-and-so, yeah.
One of the things I need to say that, Brian, you've heard his voice, very deep voice, but this guy could sing very low notes and very high notes. He was a very versatile musician, versatile singer. I remember you guys used to do a cappella. Did that really, beyond high school, did you take it any other place?
Not as a group, but personally, I kept singing. I still sing.
Okay.
I write music.
Okay.
I think the only thing remaining now is to take it to the level of recording. But yeah, I've written quite a bit. I enjoy singing. I still play basic piano and the guitar, for personal enjoyment. Yeah.
I actually recorded music.
Oh, you did?
I wrote songs. When I was in high school, I remember I didn't do a lot of music. But eventually, when I joined campus, I started doing guitar in high school.
Oh, yeah.
And eventually really did that for a while.
Okay.
So it's interesting to hear that you are yet to record, and you are the guy who
I know.
need to do that.
That's a good challenge. I need to step up.
Then, so after high school, you in terms of career, I'm sure you didn't go straight into entrepreneurship.
Yeah, definitely. So after high school, I did. I actually took a short course in music.
Okay.
Just trying to build it up. You're trying to find yourself. What should I do? Who should I become? Did music a bit. Went into a bit of teaching of music. The little knowledge I had. Then I got into motivational speaking, and I did that for quite a bit.
Okay.
And then, of course, during that time, I was also trying to study a bit of computers.
Yes.
At that time, the in thing, nowadays you hear people say the in thing is coding.
Yes.
That time it was database management.
Yes.
And I did Oracle. I'm a certified DBA.
Okay.
And so, I did that for about a year. And then, of course, with that, I started working. I got a job that time with it's called Visa Handling Services.
Okay.
They used to do outsourcing. It was the outsourced company for the British High Commission to handle visa applications and all that.
VFS Global.
Like VFS Global right now, yes. So actually that was like the first one in Kenya to try and do visa handling. Yeah, it used to be some place in Westlands. Yeah. So I worked there, customer service, taking in applications and all that. At some point while I'm working there, I was taken to the VIP section. And I think that really formed a major part of my journey to now, because I started interacting with the who's and who, and you're thinking, okay, this guy, you mean I can talk to you? So they started, kind of sharpening me. I started desiring more. After a few months, I was taken to head the Kisumu office for the same company. And that, again, just sparked me into something else, to think that, and I said, I can do it. I can become something. So that really motivated me. So after that, I think about 2005, the contract ended. So I started moving to something else. So a bit of motivational speaking again. But it's at that time that I answered the call to ministry. I would say to maybe focus into it fully. And that's where I began the journey, got some informal training on it and started serving different places, different capacities in church, and built it up. As time went by, I then planted a church. So in 2010. Yeah, did church for quite a bit. That's about 9-10 years. And in between, I also went back to college to study leadership and management. Just to improve yourself. And then come just before COVID hit, I took a different direction in terms of my ministry, and I started focusing more on traveling. And so during that time, of course, you're traveling, you're also thinking, okay, what do I do? How do I provide for my family?
So you do have a family?
I have a family, I have a wife and 2 boys.
Yeah. When did you guys get married?
2009.
2009.
Yes.
Wow. So
yes.
it's been at least
now 13 years.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Professor. That's how we call professor.
No.
Train the rest of us. Now I'm 7.
Okay.
It took some time to get married.
So it's good. Yeah.
And 2 boys.
And 2 boys, 11 and 5.
Good stuff. So for most of the time, it was the pastor's and your wife's income that was covering.
Yes. So while I was doing church, of course, I was getting an income from that. And then when I shut down, of course, through many other engagements, you would get something, but that would not necessarily be sufficient. So that motivated me to now start thinking, what else can I do? And so with all the conversations we've been having, now the motivation increased, and action has to be taken. And through different connections, and a close friend of mine who was actually my business partner, and we just started thinking. We would talk a lot over the years. I think we started being close maybe 2013, 2012, and we had all these ideas back and forth. He's at work, I'm at doing pastoring, and we just clicked. So it was always, have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? I have a solution, I have this. And it always happened that we'll talk about a solution. Tomorrow we see someone has implemented it, and we're thinking, that was ours. We should have done it. And so those interactions, those conversations kept on growing until we got to a place about maybe 2018, and we say, you know what, we keep talking and talking. Nothing is happening. And so we said, we have to do something someday. We got to 2020, thereabout, we said, we have to do it. And so we started scouting for opportunities. Not really actively, just saying, if you see something, we have to do it. If we get this, so...
It's just that.
It was just start. Yes. So one opportunity came up. I wouldn't talk much about it because it's still, behind the scenes. And we said, let's do it. So we jumped into it. So we are still working on it. It hasn't rolled out yet. And then as we are walking around, we got to this place. We were like, there's an opportunity, there's land to be leased somewhere. What can we do with that land? It's in a prime place. Actually, guys were like, no, you can't get land in that place. So actually, my partner is the one who landed on it. And we were thinking, how did we get it? So everyone was like, no, you can't get land here. So we got it somehow, and we started. We didn't have money. We just had a vision, had a plan. And said, what can we do here? Okay, we can put some shops. Of course, there are many other shops around this place. And the question normally is, why do you want to do what everybody else is doing? But we thought to ourselves, we can have a different touch to it. We can offer a better solution. Now, of course, the interesting thing is, where do you get the money to do all this? We didn't have the money. But we said, you know what? We have the vision. We have the passion. We come up with a plan. So we approached friends and family and said, guys, this is what we have. So we have a plan. Wrote it down. And you have to make it as concrete as possible. Yeah. You don't want to look like you're guessing, you know. So we came up with the plan, shared with a few people. I shared with my family, and I was surprised. Actually, the first amount of money came in as a lump sum, like, oh, they actually agreed. So we said, we have to do this thing. So we hit the ground running. We had done all the costings, and we started. And of course, we agreed. We have never done such a thing, but we are believing in ourselves. So we kick off. You're dealing with fundis, you're dealing with suppliers, you're dealing with your landlady, and you're trying to juggle everything. So you're still building, but your landlady wants the rent because the land is not for free. Whoever's financed, they're asking, so how are things going? Things are green. So we started off well. We needed more funding. We kept on asking. Needed more funding, kept on asking.
So this is family now financing?
This is family and friends.
So you didn't go to the banks or anything?
We didn't go to the banks. We actually tried, but there's always that barrier of can we see what you have? Do you have any collateral? Do you have any securities? We don't have much. We've just registered a company. We have no presence, no history. So what do you do? So, of course, family, friends, and also dig into our pockets. What can we do? What can we chip in? And so somehow, as we kept on going, we kept on getting an open door here, an open door there. It somehow just kept on working. And we started doing these shops, I think, is it August or September last year? About September, October. And we had envisioned to finish it within 3 months, and we're going to start getting our income, all those projections, it will be good, and blah, blah, blah. What we had projected to be the cost at first, the initial budget, believe it or not, I think it ended up being 3 times. So, of course, you're thinking to yourself, that has eaten up into all our projections, how will things be? But we kept on moving. We said, we've started, we can't stop. We have people's money. Yes. We have to give it back. So we started learning the ropes. We've never quite built before. So you learn the cost of steel, the cost of cement, sand, stones, and everything. And it was one surprise after another, because you're going to the supplier and you're told, no, the price is this. You're going to the fundi, he's telling you, we'll use 5. Come on the ground, he says, oh, I thought it was 5, it's actually 15. So interesting surprises that you have to go back to your pocket. Then unforeseen costs. In fact, through this, I think I've come to a conclusion. If you're doing, construction or building in this country, the unforeseen costs should be a very major cost, because you're thinking, you didn't tell me about this. When you're building by yourself, those are some of the things you'll experience. We didn't have the money to say, hey, we're giving a contractor, do this thing. We're trying to save, it's your first time. So we had to go back to our pockets many times to try and sort 1, 2, 3. And so at the end of it all, you're thinking, it's 3 times what we had projected. Like you can see, we haven't finished yet. Maybe we are 98% done. but things had to roll. And so somehow, like I said, we just kept on moving. We kept on asking. So someone comes and says, oh, you've reached here, you don't have some more. Okay, let's give you, I'll give you. And so it was based on trust and what they can see us do. And so about September, October last year when we started, and believe it or not, we've just done the official opening 3 days ago.
Okay.
This is about a year later, maybe
Yes.
10, 11 months later. So you can imagine all those months. You have to pay rent, nothing is coming in. You have to try, you have to convince the ones who are funding that things are okay. Then people had already booked the shops a while back. And so every other month we are telling them, wait. So one or two pulled out because they thought we are not serious. And we understand because some things were beyond us. One of the major challenges, as we're talking about challenges, is we applied for electricity connection, but then I think it took us more than 3 months to get it. So by that time, we were ready to roll out, but we can't do anything. So it was always one challenge after another. And remember, we're also learning how to go about this. So yeah, we kept on trying, we kept on pushing. We haven't finished yet, but we can say it was worth the attempt, because through it all, even as we're thinking how will we break even, of course we can't break even just from the shops. Now other ideas started coming in, and those are the things now we're also looking at implementing as we go along. And I can say we are more than glad we attempted. We started.
It's so important. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is that those who succeed just started.
Yes. Yeah.
So
yeah.
starting it's the main thing. Start
Yes.
them.
Yeah. It just builds up.
Yeah, and also appreciate the journey. And there's another guy who said, there are people who want to be at the
top.
want to enjoy the view and everything at the mountain top,
Yeah.
but they forget that the greatest part of the experience is actually the journey.
The journey, yeah.
To the top.
Yeah, that's true.
But what would you tell anyone who's really looking to get into entrepreneurship, because that's the journey you're on right now?
Yeah. First of all is identify a problem. There are many problems around, and the best business you could do is a solution-based business. So look around where you're living, where you're working, anywhere along the way. What problems can you see? And even if someone is doing what you're thinking of doing, how can you add value? So, for example, here, many people are doing stalls, shops. And so guys would say, why do you want to do what everyone is doing? But we did it a little different. We made it just a little bigger. We ensured there's some level of excellence, and added one or two things. There's parking, like you can see out here. Most places don't have parking. So find a problem, come up with a solution, and have a vision for how you want the end to be. I want people to be, this is the satisfaction I want to see in the end. And just like we're saying, with that vision, come up with a plan. You don't have anything, don't look at what you have in your pocket. All you need is an idea. And then start. If starting means talking to a friend, that's a step. If starting means asking for a soft loan, that's a step. Sometimes starting just means go online, go on YouTube. Begin to Google. What can you do? What businesses can you, what solutions can you offer around the idea you have? And we are really advantaged in this day and age to have a lot of online content. Check it out. Maybe that's where you need to do your preliminary studies. Find out how can I solve that problem? What can I do? What do you have in the house? What do you have at hand? What do you have within you? Use that. You have a basic laptop, take it and start typing something, offer something. Today you see people doing vlogs with their own phones. That's something, And even as I speak, I'm challenging myself. I need to to do the recording. So find a problem, offer a solution, and most of the times that problem will be something you're really passionate about. I hate seeing this. I don't like seeing this. How can I solve it? So it's that thing that troubles you, that bothers you, that pesters you. They need to do something about this. We need to do something. Find that problem, look for a solution around it, and just start. Yeah.
So maybe also as a final thing is the importance of financing, because I know one of the challenges everyone talks about. So when did you get the land? Was it in 2020 or 2021?
Just 2021.
Okay, you got it in 2021.
Yes.
And the fact that it's incredible that I think it was also a good thing that things were opening up again.
Yes.
And maybe family was seeing, yes, this can be a good avenue to generate, especially coming from a background where everyone is civil servant, everyone works for his or her money.
Yeah.
That must have been a challenge convincing them that, putting this money in this business and it will come back.
Yeah, one of the things that I say would work for us is trust. You've been relating with people over time, and that comes to the power of relationships.
Yeah.
You never know when you need people. We've related over time. You've handled one or two things for them. You've delivered, and because you are out there relating, you are sharing different things. When you come up with an idea and say, I'd like help, it won't come up as a strange thing. I don't have a relationship with the bank.
Yes.
When I go to them, they tell me, no, I don't know you. But because of the people around and there's that friendship and this trust, it was a little easier for them to say, okay, I can sacrifice something because you're always there for us. I'm not only just there, I try to offer solutions. Maybe I'll go help you do something. It's not monetary, but I'm there. So that relationship, I've seen the power of relationship through this. Just always being there for people. Sometimes the best you can do is calling people, and you're just there for them genuinely. You're caring for them. You're being there for them, doing this and that for them. Tomorrow, when you need something genuinely, they'll say, oh, you've always been there for me. Let me come in to help you. So I'd say the power of relationships unlocked these finances. Yeah.
Maybe a final thing also, we're going into an electioneering period.
Yeah.
Has that raised a bit of concern on your side? Are you concerned about where the location currently? Is there any concern around that?
Actually, no. Thankfully, no. Because where we are, it's quite cosmopolitan. As you can see, very many people from different parts of the country are here. So we've not had any sense of insecurity, animosity, or anything. So we're actually thankful for that. It's pretty easy. So we are good to go.
Good.
Yeah.
Stuff. It's good to have that positive energy about moving forward. I think also being a Christian, trusting in God, things
trusting
will be well.
God, yes, that's right. In everything you do, the scripture says, put God first, and He'll direct your ways. So, yeah, we are cognizant of that. We pray every day, ask God to lead us. And actually, in the journey, we've learned and applied lots of biblical principles. Okay. Just the concept of coming out of Egypt from a place of bondage, going through the wilderness as a place of learning, and then to the promised land. So we've learned to use like the principle of what is it that is in your hands. God asked Moses, what do you have in your hands? He said, a rod. And it looked like a very small thing. And that rod is what he had used for many years.
Yes.
So it was the same thing. And so we used the same concept. What do we have? It's something that you've always had in you. We've always had ideas. We kept talking. We said we can do. So we said, let's take what we have, that passion, that drive. And so, God is really at the center, the background, at the foundation, and at the top of this thing.
I like what you said, what's in your hand, because there's a concept that is called the unfair advantage. So an unfair advantage for you,
Yes.
Compared maybe to someone else maybe his relationships, and even though he has good relationships, might not be very strong to be able to get financing, but maybe the other ways he can be able to start and get finances. He has another unique what you call unfair advantage. So for you, the unfair advantage might have been one of them, as you're saying, the ideas you already have, the passion, the family support that you are able to use.
Relationships.
You leverage on that.
Yes, that's right. And trust, the trust was really key.
So,
nice.
So maybe for the pharmacy business, how long has that been operational?
About a year.
A year?
From September last year.
Okay.
So it's about 11 months, I think,
So one of the things I saw for pharmacies, you do need to have a pharmacist involved.
Of course, government regulations, you must, it must be licensed. So because I'm not a pharmacist, we are not pharmacists. So we had to get someone who is licensed to partner with. So you go with him, whoever it is, and then you register the pharmacy together. He has to be part of the one of the directors there. And then for some reason we couldn't have him at the counter to sell, so we had to get someone who's trained, someone who's had experience. So we don't have any experience, but we got people who are in the business or in that field, and we've partnered. Someone else needs an opportunity, we have the idea, we come together, that idea, that skill, that we give that person that a chance, an opportunity, and there's mutual benefit.
So it will be good. We'd like to go and see that pharmacy. Get to learn a bit. It's very important for me as well, because it's still part of our plan. So that's very good. So I hope you guys are actually getting a lot of value from this, just hearing that journey. And we'll discuss a bit of the travel thing as we go. And it's really interesting. And it was a chance meeting, let me just say, about almost a week ago. And we're not seeing each other, I think, for 20-something years. But now here we are sitting together and discussing the entrepreneurship journey. So let's move quickly to the other shop and see how much has been done. All right. So let's head out to the pharmacy. As we headed to the pharmacy, Bryant and I discussed his travels around the world. That will form part 2 of Brian's story. So keep on watching.
You can even
go into that
forward.
And then I'll reverse out. Okay, so we're here at the pharmacy. Let's see how it all looks like.
Work together. She's the one dispensing every day. So she's trained for that. So myself, like I told you, I'm not trained for this, so I can't dispense.
The whole package? What are some of the challenges you face?
So number one, like I told you, this is almost like a pub street. Very many pubs. So sometimes the noise can just be too much, or when they come in drunk, they actually could be just a nuisance, not really customers. Secondly, there's a huge challenge of parking here. I think when they were designing, they didn't foresee that there would be such a high demand. So that is a bit limiting. And then most of the clientele for the area that we're serving, they use cars, personal cars, and so sometimes because of the paths here being congested, the road being congested, so they'll opt to use another road.
Okay.
So all those customers who would ideally pass through this road would go to the other side and so use the pharmacies on the other side. So, but yeah, we're thinking of other ways to work around that.
In terms of security, because of the parks, is it an issue so far? It's not been an issue. So
Actually, that works for us. When you think about it, with all the pubs, they want to have their own security.
Yeah, so that enhances
And they like to,
which is actually good, yes. You can leverage on that as well.
That's right. Yeah.
So what would be an advice you'd give someone looking to start a pharmacy?
The key thing is location. Get a place with fairly good traffic, and also get to know the clientele you're serving. There are places where they don't do generic drugs.
Okay.
Like where we are, they love the original drugs.
Okay.
And then also they would almost like self-medicate. They come in, they know what they want. So do your research, know what the people want, or the kind of people you're serving. And then, just start.
For the staff, not someone who has got better experience, because the people here, they are more advanced. Someone, if they need someone with good customer care.
Okay. That's important. Cool.
That's interesting, but that's very interesting, what she's mentioned. The guys coming in to buy medication nowadays, they first of all Google it.
Yeah, that's the
So
thing.
if you tell them anything contrary to Google, although it may not be correct sometimes.
No, but it's good,
they
as
come
you
with
say,
your stuff.
if you do not know, if you do not have someone with qualifications,
Yeah.
they will keep giving, and maybe at times someone has Googled wrong, because there's a whole song
Mhm.
about Googling your symptoms.
Yeah.
And you find, because your symptoms can be intermixed. You can
Yeah.
think, I'm seeing this is what it is, but maybe it's actually a totally different thing. And then you're treating the wrong, you start treating the wrong thing. So maybe if you have a pharmacist who's aware, there are other questions they ask that this guy probably never got the symptoms.
Yeah.
So I think that's why you're saying the first thing is have someone with better experience
Yeah.
and customer care, which is tricky. At times, most experienced guys don't have good well, experience, no, maybe training, might be well trained, but lacking in
Customer service, yeah.
customer service. It's a service-based thing.
Yeah.
Right. So thanks. I think that's enough. We
Yeah.
need to allow the business to continue.
That's right,
And,
yeah.
thank you for your time.
Mhm.
Hit that subscribe button, like, share, comment. Really important to engage with the content, and